Philomena story time. If you're new here, Philomena was my grandmother. Contrary to what her children would have you believe, my grandmother hated the holidays, specifically Christmas. This deep-seated dislike for everything Yuletide began when her children were little. My grandfather, Philomena's husband, also hated Christmas, but he hated it way before she did. My grandmother had a lot of traditions growing up that my grandfather did not. And my grandfather basically told my grandmother that if she wanted to do this, and I quote, Christmas shit, that she was going to have to do it herself. Philomena said, okay, and did the Christmas shit herself. In her family, Santa brought the Christmas tree along with the Christmas presents. Every year when her kids were little, she would hide the Christmas tree outside, wait until they were asleep, drag it in, set it up, decorate it, put the presents underneath it, while my grandfather sat there shaking his head, telling her that she didn't need to do this. Once again, my grandfather should have known better, because you did not tell Philomena what she could and could not do. One year when the kids were older, she decided that she wanted a silver Christmas tree. And my grandfather absolutely hated the idea. Without hesitation, Philomena looks at him and says, oh, so you're volunteering to do the Christmas shit this year? No. Yeah, that's what I thought, Bob. We are getting the silver Christmas tree. She loved that tree because it was so easy to set up. But as time went on, after her kids grew up and after her grandchildren grew up, she started to really dislike the idea of holidays in general. She didn't like the fact that her children treated her like crap all year round, but during the holidays, I'm family all of a sudden. The only time that I remember Philomena having a genuinely good time during the Christmas holiday was the one year when her eldest had to have surgery and wasn't feeling like going to holiday parties. So I drove us to a certain parental figure of mine's home. We did Christmas Eve. We stayed for like an hour. Then we decided to go to the bookstore because it was open. We walked around for a little bit. We drove home. We watched Annie Mame on Christmas Eve. And then on Christmas Day, we sat and we watched movies all day long. And that night, she poured us the smallest amount of whiskey. And we just said, Merry Christmas to each other. She gave me a hug, and when she pulled back, she said, this is the best Christmas I've had in a long time.